You know this man. He has a fire in his eyes, a spark of genius that promises something extraordinary. He talks about grand projects, revolutionary ideas, a life less ordinary. He lives in a world of dazzling potential, but he never builds anything there. For every failure, there is an excuse. The timing was wrong. The people weren't right. The world simply wasn't ready for him. Maybe he's your friend. Maybe he's your brother. Maybe he is the man you love. An adult in age, but a boy in spirit. Emotionally volatile. Allergic to commitment. Always chasing a vague sense of freedom while running from any real responsibility. You see the potential. You see the brilliant mind, and a part of you hopes he will finally wake up. The great psychoanalyst Carl Jung gave this pattern a name. Puer Aeternus. The eternal boy. It is the archetype of the man who refuses to grow up. He is trapped in a permanent state of transition, always preparing for a life he never actually begins to live. He is charming, yes. His spontaneity is magnetic. But behind that charm lies a deep and terrifying shadow. The inability to face the real world. This video is a mirror. And if you are watching, it is because you recognize the reflection, either in someone else or perhaps in a secret part of yourself. Let's pull back the curtain on the man who never grows up. The Puer Aeternus is not just a personality quirk. It is a psychic force operating in the unconscious. Society often mistakes it for charisma, for a free spirit. But it's a profound refusal to leave the paradise of childhood. A place where everything is taken care of, where potential is enough, where action is never required. He is the eternal son, the special one, who believes he is too unique for the mundane work of building a life. You've seen it. The man who jumps from job to job, always searching for a deeper meaning he never finds. The man who falls in love with an all-consuming passion, only to vanish the moment the relationship demands maturity. The man who talks about enlightenment and self-knowledge, but cannot manage his finances or honor a simple promise. It is not a lack of talent. The Puer is often brilliant, sensitive, and creative. He has a direct line to the world of ideas and imagination. But that is the core of his problem. He wants to live in the sky of ideas, but he refuses to build his foundations on the earth of reality. He wants success without the grind. He wants love without the commitment. He wants the rewards of adulthood without paying the price of maturity. And when the world doesn't hand him these things, he becomes bitter. He blames the system. He blames his parents. He blames life, but he never, ever blames himself. Jung said the Puer Aeternus lives in a state of suspension. He is always waiting for the perfect moment, the right person, the sign from the universe. He lives in the when, never in the now. But this charm, this vibrant energy, is a mask. And now, we will look at the darkness that lies behind it. The illusion of freedom that is, in fact, his cage. There is something hypnotic about the man dominated by this archetype. He doesn't follow rules. He doesn't accept labels. He seems to float above the trivialities of life. He seems free. And in a world choked by obligation and routine, who doesn't crave freedom? But this is the great deception, the central lie of the Puer Aeternus. His freedom is an illusion. A carefully crafted defense to hide what he fears most. Reality. He is not free. He is a fugitive. He runs from pain. He runs from failure. He runs from the judgment of others. He runs from the simple, terrifying weight of being responsible for his own existence. And every commitment he avoids, every decision he postpones, every responsibility he outsources only makes his prison walls thicker. You have seen this firsthand. He says he doesn't want a conventional job because he is destined for greatness. The truth is, he is terrified of routine and accountability. He says relationships are prisons for the soul. The truth is, he is petrified of intimacy, of being truly seen, of being held to his word. He says he hates rules. The truth is, he simply doesn't know how to deal with boundaries. This freedom he preaches is nothing more than a childish refusal to face life on its own terms. He doesn't just sabotage himself. His shadow casts a long, destructive line on everyone who gets close. Let's talk about the damage he leaves in his wake. In the beginning, it's intoxicating. The Puer shines. He is passionate, unpredictable, and full of life. But slowly, the light begins to dim. What once was lightness becomes absence. What was sensitivity becomes instability. What seemed like freedom reveals itself as pure escape. This is the shadow of the man-child taking over. It manifests in 1,000 small betrayals. He forgets commitments. He misses deadlines. He is a financial mess. He changes his mind on a whim. He breaks promises, but he always has a poetic excuse. I need my space. I have to be true to myself. I'm just not ready. The truth is much simpler. He is afraid. Afraid of being ordinary. Afraid of making a mistake. Afraid of growing up. So he unconsciously sabotages anything that demands real maturity. And this sabotage poisons everyone around him. His romantic partners live in a state of constant anxiety, loving a man who is brilliant in theory but absent in practice. He says he loves you, but he disappears. He says he wants a future, but he never lays a single brick. Family members watch in frustration as he wastes his talent. Friends grow tired of supporting a man who is forever on the verge of a breakthrough that never comes. But why? Why does he do this? The answer is not in his actions, but in a hidden dynamic he himself cannot see. Behind almost every eternal boy, there is an eternal mother. No Puer Aeternus is born in a vacuum. Behind almost every man who refuses to grow up, there is a silent, powerful figure. An influence that protects him from the world, but also prevents him from ever truly facing it. In Jungian Psychology, this is the archetypal mother. This can be his literal overprotective mother, who solved all his problems and never let him fail. Who, in her love, accidentally crippled his autonomy. Or it can be a symbolic mother, a partner who takes on the role of caregiver. A woman who enables his behavior, cleans up his messes, and organizes his life. A woman who, in her desire to help, feeds the very dependency that keeps him trapped. This man does not seek an equal partner. Unconsciously, he seeks a mother, someone who will accept him without challenging him, someone who will support him without demanding anything in return. This relationship is comfortable for him, but it is deeply destructive, because as long as he is being cared for, he never has to grow. He can remain an emotional child, waiting for the women in his life to solve the problems he refuses to face. He never wanted a partner. He wanted a mother disguised as a lover. Breaking this psychic cord is the only way out, but it requires pain. It requires a separation. It requires a symbolic death. And now, we must talk about that painful but necessary path to transformation. There comes a point when the fantasy begins to crack. The unfulfilled dreams become heavy. The failed relationships leave deep scars. The world of infinite possibility starts to feel like an empty room. This is the breaking point. The moment when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. But the journey to maturity is not a gentle awakening. Jung called it a psychic birth. And like any birth, it involves blood, pain, and death. The death of the fantasy. The first step is to mourn. Mourn the idealized boy you thought you were. Mourn the imagined life of effortless success. Mourn the promise of a future that was never built. And most importantly, you must mourn the symbolic mother. You must kill the part of you that waits to be saved. This doesn't mean you destroy your inner child. It doesn't mean you suffocate your creativity or your ability to dream. It means you stop using that child as an excuse to run from life. It means the man finally takes charge. Maturity means choosing commitment when escape is easier. It means working with focus, even when you're not inspired. It means staying present in a relationship long after the initial idealization has faded. It means trading the fleeting ecstasy of the new for the deep transformative power of continuity. When this happens, the Puer is not destroyed. He is integrated. His creativity, his vision, his energy are now channeled through a mature, grounded man capable of building something real in the world. This is the only path to true freedom. If you have made it this far, it is because this is not just a theory for you. You have seen this man. You have been hurt by this man, or you are this man. There is no shame in that. We all carry the temptation to remain children, to hope for a shortcut, to wish for a life without pain. But the truth is brutal. Life does not wait. It tests you. And sooner or later, you must choose. To remain trapped in the world of promise, or to cross the bridge into the world of fulfillment. Maturity is what happens when you stop waiting for someone else to save you, and you start saving yourself. When you understand that responsibility is not a prison, but the path to power. And when you realize that true freedom is not doing whatever you want, but having the internal structure to choose what is necessary. Now, I want to hear from you. Which part of this video hit you the hardest? Comment below. Be honest. Sometimes writing it down is the first step, and if this resonated, share it. Share it with someone who is trapped in this same cycle and might not even know it. Your journey does not end here. It is just beginning. This was Philoverse. The real work begins now.